In this video, we're going to show you how to install the brake flex hose on your Nissan Murano located behind the rear wheels. With the vehicle raised and supported, so let's go ahead and use our 21mm socket to loosen and remove these lug nuts. Grab the wheel and remove it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start by pinching this flex hose. We're going to use our pliers here. We're going to pinch this and then slide our little lock tab up. And what's going to happen is when we loosen this here, we're going to lose a minimum amount of fluid coming through here. That's going to allow us some time to work on the upper portion. I'm going to use my 11mm socket here. I'm going to loosen this. Now we are going to lose some brake fluid, so we have a catch can underneath it. You want to have some towels or a bucket to catch that fluid. And what you're also going to experience is going to be a copper washer on the bolt head side and then one on the other side here up against the caliper. You want to make sure you retrieve both of those. It's recommended to be wearing safety glasses and wearing gloves when you're doing a job like this here. Okay. And here is that washer right here that fell off the back side. Now we're going to focus on the upper half. Now on the upper portion here, we have a hard line that comes around. There's a 10mm nut, and that goes into the flex hose here. Now what holds us together, there's a metal horseshoe clip right here that holds us to the bracket on the chassis of the vehicle. Now prior to this here, we did soak this down in some rust penetrant, and ideally what you want to do is get your 10mm wrench on this, and you want to be able to break this free. Now ours is free. You want to be careful that the hard line isn't rusted into this nut here and starts twisting the metal. If it is, keep spraying it down and break that rust free. This nut needs to spin separate of the hard line, otherwise this line will break and you're going to run into a much larger project than anticipated. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and start to loosen this a bit more and ideally unthread it from the flex hose. We are going to lose some fluid from this side here. It's going to continuously run through the hard line, so you want to try and make sure you can do this job fairly quickly. Okay, that is free. I'm going to use my pliers and remove this horseshoe clip. So there's a horseshoe clip. And you want to take note that the arch faces upward to lock that into place. Then we're going to wiggle that free. Chances are you might need a pair of pliers to grab a hold of that and wiggle that free like so. And there you have it. Now before you install the flex hose, you do want to make note that on the top here, it is keyed. There's a flat section. And then on the other side is a flat section with a single little point in it. That'll line up with the bracket on the top here. So what we're going to do is feed this up and in. And before we get that locked into place, ideally you want to go ahead and get this threaded in to this flex hose. Now we're not going to tighten it down. We do want to have this a bit flexible so we can get this lined up into the body the way it needs to, or into the chassis. And you just want to work that up. On our particular model, that pointed portion was on the back side. And you know that it's fully seated because you can see the gap right between the bracket and the flex hose here. We can install that little horseshoe clip. All right, starting to bottom out. Snug that down gently. Go ahead and take that horseshoe clip, that arch facing upward, line that up. can use the pliers. You can push this back on. Sometimes you can just tap it on. Just like that. Take your banjo bolt, install a new supplied washer. We're going to feed that through the flex hose. Install the other copper washer. Then we'll go ahead and line this up and get this started on the back side of the caliper. You do want to make sure that this pin lines up with the caliper and pops it into place. Let's go ahead and snug that down. Let's take some spray solvent. I want to clean both ends here. It's very important that you clean this all up. Brake fluid is corrosive, so you do want to make sure that you clean up all that residual fluid here. We're going to double check the hard line up top. Make sure it's good and tight. All right, let's go ahead and torque down our banjo bolt. Let's go ahead and torque this down to 14 foot-pounds. Let's now go ahead and proceed to the brake bleeding process. This is going to be a gravity bleed. We're going to remove this rubber cap. We'll go ahead and loosen this here. Now we do have a bucket underneath here to catch any residual brake fluid coming out of here. When we open this up, we're going to go ahead and watch for any of the air bubbles coming out, and we want to look for a solid stream of fluid coming out, and then we'll tighten it down from there. I'm going to go ahead and use our 8mm socket on our ratchet, and it could take a few minutes for that fluid to come through, fill up behind the piston, and start to come out. Now it does look like we have a solid, steady stream here coming out. No air bubbles. So let's go ahead and close this up. And we'll snug that down gently. Spray it down with some solvent. Now what you want to do is you want to hop into the vehicle, pump up the brakes, and you want a firm pedal. For any reason, if the pedal feels mushy, you want to come on back here and continue this process. It could be 2 to 3 times to go ahead and burp out any of the air that's in the system. If you still can't get a firm pedal, you then want to proceed to the full brake bleeding process for this vehicle. Grab your wheel, get that set up onto the studs. Now I want to go ahead and start all of the lug nuts by hand. That's going to help prevent cross-threading. Once we get all these installed, we go ahead and snug them down. And let's go ahead and snug them down. Now let's go ahead and torque down our lug nuts to 80 foot-pounds. And when doing this here, it's best to do this in a crisscross or star pattern. Now with the hood open, go ahead and locate your master cylinder reservoir here. Before we even open that up, you do want to put on some safety glasses and wear some gloves when doing this. I'm going to go ahead and spray this down with some spray solvent and clean this up. I want to make sure when we open this up, we don't get any dirt or debris inside the reservoir. I'm going to grab a little container and put that on the side. I'm going to open this up, and we want to go ahead and remove or evacuate what we have for brake fluid in there. Now on our particular vehicle, the fluid level is extremely low, but we're going to use a vacuum tool like this here. If you have something like this, you can use a turkey baster as well. Inside here, you may find a little screen or a filter. Go ahead and pop that out, set that aside. Put this down there if you can, and remove. Once you have that evacuated, go ahead and grab the proper brake fluid recommended for the vehicle. And want to go ahead and top this off. It's always ideal if you can clean this screen as well. Make sure that's all cleaned up and as dry as possible. Drop that down inside, and then we're going to fill it up. Now during the brake bleeding process, it's okay to go ahead and overfill this on the first run through. In the end, we do want to make sure that you fill it to the full line. Go ahead and grab that cap and seal it up. Now here we are, we're starting at the right rear of the vehicle, and it's going to be a procedure. You can follow along on the screen there. We're going to be doing the right rear. We're then going to go to the left front. After that, we're going to top off the reservoir and then go to the driver's side rear, which is the left rear, and ending at the right front. After that, we're going to top off the reservoir again. Now we have someone inside the vehicle that's going to help us up by pumping up the brakes, and they're going to follow our instruction. Right here is going to be the bleeder screw on your caliper. There's a rubber cap. If you don't have the rubber cap, it's not detrimental to the operation of the brakes. The bleeder screw here is an 8mm. You could also use a 5/16. It's recommended that you spray this down with some rust penetrant before doing this job so you can go ahead and loosen these. We also have a reservoir here to capture the fluid. What we're going to do is set this up. I'm going to go ahead and have the person inside the vehicle pump up the brakes. They're going to pump it up about 3 to 4 times and hold pressure while we do this. We're going to crack this open. You can watch the fluid come out. Now the pedal goes to the floor on the inside. They let us know. We close this up. Go ahead and pump it up again. And we're going to repeat this process until we can get all the air bubbles and preferably clear fluid coming through. Okay, you can go ahead and pump up the brake and release it after when you're done. Go ahead and carefully remove that. Make sure that that bleeder screw is snug. If you dribbled some of that brake fluid there, go ahead and use some spray solvent. Clean that, wipe it down. Brake fluid is corrosive, so you want to make sure that you don't leave any of that laying around there. And if you have the rubber cap, go ahead and pop that on. Let's now go ahead and move to the left front. Now we did go ahead and have the person inside the vehicle crank out our wheel. It does give us better access here. Once again, we're going to go ahead and remove that rubber cap. This here is a 10mm, not the 8 that we had in the rear. Install our port. Go ahead and have them pump up the brakes. Go ahead. You can see the air bubbles coming through, and that's exactly what we're looking to do, is purge out any of the air as well as dirty fluid. Go ahead. And one more. All right, go ahead and pump them up, and you can release. Go ahead and spray this down. Now at this point here, before we jump to that left rear, you want to go ahead and go underneath the hood and top off that master cylinder reservoir. And then we can continue with the left rear and closing with the right front. Now let's get and top off the master cylinder reservoir. Open up the cap. Go ahead and fill it up to the full mark. Seal it up. Let's now go ahead and torque down our lug nuts to 80 foot-pounds.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.